All right, y'all. Let's try to go in as fast as we can. Try to wipe that camera off a little bit, y'all. Yeah, now we back in. So, without further ado, I want to finish this up, y'all, because I do got a lot more stuff that I want to get out of there for you guys, and for you guys to really write down, get you guys to go ahead and marinate on, and go ahead and review. I want to get past these Zodiac experiences with the houses, so I want to finish up. I did stop on the 6th sign of Virgo, so I want to start there, and then we're going to finish with the 12th sign of Pisces, all right? So we're going to go into these houses and how they explain the extended information with the Zodiacs, and we're also going to explain a little bit more about their ruling planets and the Zodiac signs that occupy them, okay? Zodiac signs occupy these houses. If you guys want to make a little more shorter term for that, these signs are kind of like, the little brothers, and the houses are kind of like the big brothers that they always come to for help and stuff like that, and information and advice. So if you guys want to look at it like that, these signs are very important. These signs are most definitely like energies. Most definitely they are energies themselves. And the houses explain how these energies operate, different ways and combinations. So when you guys get into your natal birth charts and you guys start reading your placements and stuff like that, you guys are most definitely going to get a little more idea of how these things correlate and how they blend. All right? So like I said, y'all, we're starting on the 6th sign of Zodiac, which is Virgo. Just a little more recap of that. You guys do want to pay attention to that Virgo sign, because that if you got any Virgo placements, most definitely deals with like an ongoing routine energy. It's kind of like a rolling ball like that, and it don't stop rolling, like a revolving door. And that's what you kind of get sometimes with Virgos. They kind of real critical people. They always want to be perfect. They always want things to be the right way. They're very precise people, most definitely. So when you get these energies of the Virgo, most definitely you guys want to know how to work with that. Their ruling planet is Mercury. So it comes with a very quick thinking, very smart, very intelligent, very a little bit impulsive, might be a little too quick, hasty sometimes, depending on the situations that they go through. So, like I said, y'all, 6th sign of Zodiac. Hope y'all can see that there with my head in the way. 6th sign of Zodiac, Virgo. All right. The ruling planet for Virgo, which is also the ruling planet for the 6th house, is Mercury. All right. And like I said, y'all, Virgo deals with a lot of work, deals with a lot of type of healing, things like that. The 6th house itself is ruled by work, health, and wealth. Right? Work, health, and wealth. If you want to say wealth, y'all, you guys also want to put that into a form of diet, because we know that the health is the wealth. You feel what I'm saying? So, most definitely, Virgo is occupied by the 6th house. The 6th house is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And what is governed in the 6th house is work, health, wealth, and diet. Most definitely in this 6th house, you guys are going to deal with how you operate as far as exercise, how you guys should exercise, how you guys should diet, how you're going to deal with employees at work. Most definitely you guys are going to deal with a lot of things with your work ethic and how beneficial you are to the workplace, and also how good you guys are with dealing with coworkers. I'm going to put a little bit on there because I know you guys want to remember those things. I'm going to put that in a different marker so y'all can see that. Hope I still have enough time to break that down. All right? So boom, we got coworkers. Co-workers' attitude. Let me put that on there. So, co-workers' attitude, employment, health, exercise. Let's put that shit right now. Exercise. Feel. Alright? Health, exercise. I don't think I want to put too much on there. Just want to give you guys the basics. But I just want to make sure if I'm missing anything. Yeah. Mainly, that's what this thing is going to deal with, guys. You're going to deal with work, how you deal with the workplace, the co-workers' attitude, your attitude towards co-workers. Most definitely, it's going to deal with a lot of things on, pet peeves. Most definitely in the 6th house, it also deals with pets. Do want to say that. So, if you got any placements in your 6th house, pay attention to how you deal with your pets or anything like that. Because most definitely, you got anything in your 6th house, you got some type of connection to pets and animals. You know, it could be because of that 6. It could be because it's mirroring the 12th house of Pisces, which really deal with animals. You know, Pisces are very intuitive people that can catch on to things. And if you think about the 6th house of Virgo, across from that is the 12th sign of Pisces, which is also the 12th house. All right? So, make sure you guys write this down. We're going on the 6th house, y'all. We're on the 6th house. You guys can see that right there. We're on the 6th house, which is occupied by the zodiac sign of Virgo. The ruling planet is Mercury. Deals with work, health, and wealth. As far as the 6th house government period, deals with co-workers' attitude and your attitude towards co-workers. Within the 6th house, it also deals with your form of employment. Within the 6th house, it also deals with health and exercise and diet. In the 6th house, it also deals with some form of way of dealing with pets or some type of thing that dealing with animals or some type of healing work. Could be. Let me show y'all write that down. All right, now we're going to the 7th sign. My favorite. All right, now we're going into the 7th sign. We're going into the 7th house. You guys don't know what that 7 look like. It's right there. We kind of look at that 7. It's a heavenly number. The 7 goes up and it comes to like a higher state of being or ecstasy when you look at that 7. See, it coming from the ground up like that, elevating. That's what you think about when you think of that 7. A lot of things in that 7, which as well as the 7th house, deals with some type of relationship. This is a relationship. This line is together, most definitely. And that's what the 7th house rules. But zodiac sign that occupies the 7th house is Libra. I guess I could have did that with the black one. We're going to keep it going. So, zodiac sign Libra, ruled by Venus, or the planet Venus. Hope you guys can see that. And also, the biggest thing that the 7th house is going to deal with, personal relationships, or close relationships, but mainly relationships, period. All right. So one of the main things that's going to be in the 7th house, y'all, is dealing with those relationships. You guys have known in Libras. Well, definitely these Libras deal with a lot of things with personal relationships within their family, being dependent on them. Also having a lot of things dealing with these guys going through a lot of issues of having to own their independence. You know, that comes with a lot of Libra, and it deals with because of the relationships that they gain or the relationships that they form with the people that they know. So most definitely, if you know any Libras, most definitely, you're going to notice that, and, these guys deal with these things, Venus, the planet Venus itself deals with love, wanting to love, wanting to feel, wanting to be sensual, wanting to love the beauty of things, and these guys love beauty, these guys love to bask in their comfortability and their chill space. Most definitely, these people love their peace. So, Pretty good people to be around, pretty easygoing. But every zodiac sign has their imbalanced side, because you got a balanced side of the zodiac and you got an imbalanced side. So if you're dealing with an imbalanced Libra, you're most definitely dealing with an impulsive person. You're probably real lazy, probably real lackadaisical, really kind of in a way that they're kind of controlling, possessive in a way, kind of want things their way, crying about it, and also just being real clingy and needy, and it comes with that planet Venus, because if your ruling planet is Venus, you're going to have some type of needs that everybody else is not going to agree with. Just wanted to put that out there for any Libras out there watching. Moving on, the 7th house deals with relationships, mainly, but you guys are going to deal with a lot of close relationships that deals with grandparents, or grandchildren. Right? Contracts. You guys can see that there. At the bottom it says contracts. All right? We also have in the 7th house that is ruled by partnerships. All right? Again, also in the 7th house, you guys are going to deal with close relationships like best friends and stuff like that. I don't really need to put that on there because, we got partnerships, stuff like that, contracts. Also, we're going to deal with commitments. All right? Those are the main things that are going to be in that 7th house that you guys are going to pretty much, dig up and see. I want to make sure I don't leave anything in that 7th house. But definitely, guys, the 7th house is very important, because if you're dealing with marriage, which I need to put that on there. All right, that's one of the main things. Let me tell you why. So in that 5th house, you guys notice it deals with creative force, it deals with cheating, it deals with 5th house deals with creative energy, it deals with where your creative sparks come from, but it also deals with some type of love affairs or risky relationships or risky chances. The main thing is, if you guys pay attention to your 5th house placement or whatever's going on in your 5th house or what Zodiac is seeing, you guys are gonna realize a certain relationship with things that are going to end up having to be incorporated. And if it incorporates or it manifests the right way, it's going to manifest into the 7th house. So like I said, y'all, it's going to jump from the 5th house to the 7th house. And we know that the 7th house deals with partnerships and relationships, marriage, commitments, grandparents, grandchildren, contracts, a lot of these things. Most definitely, when you think about the 7th house, you think about these vows in marriages, where you guys are looking straight at your partner and you're telling them, hey, I want you, you want me, we're in this together, and I promise that I'm not going to do anything to hurt you. Now, when you have people saying these things, most definitely in the 7th house, things that mirror things with Libra. Libras can get in places where they want their image to be put in a certain way to where it doesn't view them as bad. So a lot of times these Libras lead people on, or might lead people astray, or might be unreliable in certain senses if they're not using their potential the right way, because all Libras have their potential. So most definitely understand that if you know any Libras. Now, the 7th house is kind of like those vows. It's kind of like those promises and things like that. When you're thinking about the energy or the story of the 7th house, it's dealing with that married couple who will want everything to be perfect for their wedding, everything want to be perfect and good the way it's supposed to be. Most definitely, when you guys are thinking about that, stuff like marriage and stuff like that, it comes with a lot of commitment. It comes with a lot of patience. It comes with a lot of, wanting you to believe in that other person. So most definitely, when you think about the 7th house, it thinks about the other person. When you think about the 7th house, it thinks about how you are perceived individually. So it also deals with one-on-one relationships. These one-on-one relationships with the 7th house are very important because it deals with how you deal with one-on-one relationships with others. So, for example, if I have a certain zodiac sign in my 7th house, it's going to deal with the type of energy, how I deal with individuals on a first name basis. If my 7th house is in Virgo, well, definitely I'm going to be a little more critical with people when I'm around them, and people are going to notice that about me. So most definitely think about that 7th house as those individual perceptions, or how people are going to perceive you individually in a one-on-one relationship with you. All right, let's keep it moving. For anybody else that's Libra, it's the zodiac sign. Venus is the ruling planet for the 7th house. Relationships is governed by the 7th house. Within the 7th house, we have dealing with grandparents or grandchildren, also dealing with contracts, also dealing with partnerships, also dealing with commitments, also dealing with marriage, and most importantly, individual or one-on-one relationships. Make sure you guys get that down for the 7th house. All right? Now, like we said, right, with the 7th house, that was the marriage. That was the whole wedding itself, And let's not even say that was the ceremony. Let's just say that was the time of you saying that I like this person. And that's the person I love, and that's the person I want to be with for the rest of my life. Let's just say it was at that point there, okay? Now, just to piggyback, let's piggyback over there on the 6th house. When you think about the 6th house, it's kind of like when you're in school and you're always thinking to yourself very critically. Like I told you, that Virgo sign of that 6th house, it comes with that critical energy because of Mercury. It's very quick thinking. So when you think of that 6th house, the story of the 6th house is kind of like when you're in high school and you're telling yourself, yeah, I really like this person, but does this person like me? Does this person really like me as much as I like them, or are they just using me? Am I beneficial to this person? Am I the best person that I can be? Or am I this? Am I that? And all these things. We're thinking very critically. It's very hard, critical energy when you think about the Virgo energy. So when you think about the story of the 6th house, it comes in when you're in school or high school, coming into high school, when you're starting to figure yourself out, figure out who you are, and understand a lot of things about what's going on in life. And you're critical about yourself and how it comes, right? When you jump into the 7th house, you jump into the marriage part, or you jump into the relationship parts where you say, hey, yeah, I do like this person do like me. I just have to come up and express that to them the right way. So boom. So now we're here in the 7th house, y'all, where we're at the time where we love, or we fall in love with the person that we want. And now we're saying, okay, now we have work to do. We got business to take care of, okay? And that's what comes in with the 8th house, all right? Now, another thing you guys could think of it, right? The 7th house comes in as the marriage or the vows or the promises, where I'm holding your hand and my partner's holding my hand, and we're telling each other that we're going to be with each other for the rest of our life, right? That's such a deep vow. And in the 7th house, it's very important to understand that, because the 7th house deals with commitments, and you guys are going to deal with all types of commitments in life, not even just relationships, but it's going to be different commitments. It could be weed, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be buying too many shoes and clothes and not even spending your money the right way. Most definitely, we're going to have all these type of commitments in this universe because there's stuff out here that we want, and it's here for the taking, most definitely. But you got to have the right judgment. So most definitely that 7 or the 7th house most definitely deal with judgments, all right? So most definitely when you're jumping in to the 8th house, we're coming from the 7th house where we made our vows and where we said we love these people and we want to be with these people for the rest of our life. Now we're jumping to the 8th house where you got somebody coming in and knocking down those doors and saying, I object. I object. I don't think you and this person should be together. I want to be with this person. So now we're jumping into the 8th house, all right? So where we got all the chaos and we got all the drama, all the mess, all the BS coming in. You know what I'm saying? And this is a lot of stuff that you guys got to understand about this 8th house. Because if you got any 8th house placements, most definitely you're going to have a tough life. I ain't even going to lie to you. I got a lot of 8th house placements myself. And, growing up, it was real tough for me. Not saying that, I went through a lot of things like other people. Everybody went through a lot of things. But most definitely, if you got an 8th house placement, you're going to deal with some type of traumatic experiences in your life. All right? So, like I said, y'all, we're jumping out of that 7th house, making these vows, sitting with our partner, saying that we want to marry this person, saying that we want to settle down with this person. And now we're jumping into the 8th house where a person knocked our doors down and saying, well, nope, I object. I want that person. So, the 8th house itself, y'all, is occupied by the Zodiac sign Scorpio, which is the 8th sign. All right? Like I said, we're on the 8th house. We're jumping into the 8th house, Scorpio. All right? Which is governed by Pluto. Or, let me say Pluto and Mars. But mainly Pluto. Okay? So, let me explain that. The reason Scorpio is ruled by Pluto and Mars because before Pluto was ruled by Scorpio, Mars was ruled by Scorpio, okay? And Mars is kind of like, I feel like still kind of like his big dog or his his big homie or, his guardian. So most definitely Mars deals with a lot of strong energy and placements within Scorpios. So you guys, ruling planet most definitely now is Pluto, but you guys want to look at it as Pluto and Mars because Mars is still kind of looking out for y'all in a way, all right? But mainly Pluto. When you deal with Pluto, you deal with a lot of transformations and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in the 8th house mainly is inner journey, a transformation. Put that in there, pew. Say it like that. Transformation. Now, if you want to say that transformation, that's cool. But mainly what you guys want to get into, a mental note is that the 8th house deals with inner journeying within ourselves. Most times we're going to go through a lot of stuff in life where we have to go through these traumatic experiences to know a lot about life and to understand, to move forward. You guys got to know about this, and the inner journey is a lot of stuff that goes in, to the 8th house. Now, when you also think about the 8th house, we do a lot of inner journey. We do a lot of inner journey at work, at home, with our partners, and things like that. So most definitely it's going to deal with a lot of sexual, psychosexual things and psychological issues. So, the 8th house actually governs or explains, what psychological issues that we come into terms with. Now, when you go across, right, to the 12th house, it actually explains how we cope with these mechanisms. All right? So, Scorpio is ruled by the 8th house. Pluto and Mars, okay, is ruled by the 8th house. Transformation is what governs the 8th house, an inner journey. So, one of the main things you guys want to think about the 8th house is sexual urges. Let me put that in a different markers, y'all. All right. Sexual urges, inner journey. All right. Sexual urges, inner journey, and I hope y'all can see that there. Sexual urges, inner journey. What else can we put here? Other people's money. Yeah. If you got any 8th house placements, it's going to deal with other people's money, and it's going to deal with big money. Player. All right? Big money. Other people's money. We also want to kind of think of it with sexual urges. I kind of put that there, but it also deals with intimacy, or how we're intimate with others, or how we receive intimacy through others, how we share our intimacy. Let's say sharing intimacy. Let's put that on there. All right? Sharing intimacy. Well, definitely this deals with also some form of possessions as well, as far as things that are not going away or are going away for good. When you think about Scorpio, you think about things that are lost and gone forever. You also think about things that are in, muddy or stagnant places, from the gutter type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You guys want to think of Scorpios as very tough individuals, very powerful individuals. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio deals with momentum, about building that energy from the ground up and actually using it effectively to knock out the source or actually get to the root of the problem. You deal with Scorpios, they love to get to the root of the problem. They love telling stuff about themselves, sharing things about themselves, but don't want too much people to know much about them. Could be that water sign, but that's Scorpios. I want you guys to write that down before I jump into the 9th house. So like I said, y'all, we jumped into the 7th house, which deals with the vows and the promises within the marriage or within the relationship. And then we come into the 8th house, which comes into the objection or the contradictions, which also I do want to put that there. If you guys got a little room there, put it. It deals with contradictions. Now, if you guys can't spell that, that is C-O-N-T-R-A-C-T. Maybe I fucked that up. Contradict. C-O-N-T-R-A-D-I-C-T. All right? I-O-N-S. C-O-N-T-R-A-D-I-C-T. I-O-N-S. I fucked it up. But yeah, most definitely you guys want to put contradictions down for the 8th house as well, which is what we're on right now. You guys want to put contradictions down or oppositions, anything we're dealing with opposing, anything that deal with negativity or protection, stuff like that, because you're going to deal with also a lot of that stuff with Scorpio as well, or in the 8th house. Most definitely it deals with the energy of Scorpio. These guys love to contradict things. These guys really love to reject and go against things because they're always trying to figure out the real problem. They are very knowledgeable about things in the universe and also spirit itself. So these guys are very intuitive people. So it's a lot of stuff you can't get by to them as Scorpios. So make sure, if you're talking to a Scorpio, make sure that they understand and you understand that you guys got to talk about things and you got to get through things. You know what I'm saying? As a Scorpio, these guys are real tough. They might cuss you out every now and then, but they're real sweet people, real good people, real brilliant people, real intelligent people. All right? Like I said, on the 8th house, Scorpio, Pluto and Mars, transformation, sexual urges, what it entails, big money, other people's money, sharing intimacy with others, inner journey, and also do not forget oppositions or contradictions. That's important in the 8th house because if you got in the 8th house placements or you deal with anything that has Scorpio in it, it's going to deal with a love and hate relationship. Most definitely when you paying attention to the Scorpio energy or the 8th house energy, it's going to be a love or hate energy. It's like people are going to love it or people are going to hate it. And if you got anything, any close placements like a Scorpio moon or a Scorpio sun or Mercury and Scorpio, most definitely there's going to be a lot of misunderstandings within people communicating and understanding you. All right? Well, definitely Scorpio and the 8th house itself deal with certain misunderstandings that the world or the universe is not going to understand all the time. All right? Almost there, y'all. We're on the 9th house. Y'all ready? 9th house. Now, the 9th house is kind of like supposed to be the wedding or ceremony itself because, initially, the 9th house is ruled by ceremonies and weddings and, rituals and stuff like that, the spiritual things that are gone through a tradition that we must do because of the belief. or the optimism of faith that we have, you know, in God or in the universe itself. All right? The ninth house is governed, or let me say occupied, by the ninth sign of Sagittarius. Right? Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Alright? Also, it governs long journeys. Alright? These long journeys deals with travel. Most definitely, when you're dealing with the ninth house and when you're dealing with inner Sagittarius, somewhere they're going to have some type of travel in it. Right? Some type of learning or education. Within this education that it entails, right? This education that the ninth house entails could be universities or colleges. All right? Purpose. I don't know if you guys see me put that up there, but some of the extended information in the ninth house deals with travel, purpose, education, which could lead to universities and colleges and other things like that. Also, churches and cathedrals, because these Sagittarians are very spiritual signs. Most definitely, these people grow up in the church as Sagittarians. So most definitely, you guys want to put that down for the ninth house. Religion. Hey, it's dope. I ain't gonna lie, it's deep. And you know what? The thing is about these zodiac signs is the reason they mirror the houses is because a lot of these things are gonna go through, or you guys are gonna experience these things in y'all life, being these zodiac signs. And it's, you know, it's interesting because you guys can stop or you guys can prevent, you know, a lot of trouble and things that you guys go through along the way, because we all go through shit. And there's a lot of things we don't understand. And you know what? I like to tell a lot of people that don't get it wrong, that astrology is apart from Christianity and all these other religions, because no, it's a science itself. And if you think science isn't entailed, then that means that you don't exist, because you exist by science itself. So make sure you guys understand that. Make sure that most definitely that you guys understand that these astrology signs most definitely are in the scripture. Most definitely that these things itself are also in the scripture, but they are also, you know, not in the literary sense, but an allegory sense. All right? Poetic sense. Most definitely all these religion, you know, doctrines and books like that, all these things are kind of, you know, like poems. You know, you guys got to be able to read poetry to know about those things. So, moving on, the ninth house, okay? Occupying the zodiac sign, the ninth sign, Sagittarius, also being ruled by the planet Jupiter, a very generous, a very jovial planet. If you guys have any Jupiter placements, or you guys have a Sagittarius sun, you guys are gonna be very generous people, very helping people, but also you can't help every fucking body. Believe that, all right? Also, you can't make everybody happy. You guys, the Sagittarians, also got to know that. So you guys are going to develop a lot of friends because you guys are great travelers, great wanderers, great optimistic, and also great wise people, you know, who have a lot of knowledge and philosophy. Well, definitely you guys want to put that down as extended information, because philosophy is another thing that Sagittarians also engage in. They love to speak about what they think about the world and what they think about things. Well, definitely you think about Sagittarians, they love their hair. In the Sagittarians, most definitely are going to either try to grow their hair long, or they're going to try to do something with it to try to style it up. These Sagittarians are very flairish. You know, when you think about flairish, it's like a nice fire sign. So it's a nice big flame, you know, coming into the room, you know, showing everybody how to really do it and how it does and how it's supposed to be done, you know. Most definitely, Sagittarian women, you know, I respect y'all energy because you women know how it is or how it's actually supposed to give or what's supposed to give. You know what I'm saying? Not saying any other zodiac does that, but as a Sagittarius, you guys most definitely have that flair or that enthusiasm with yourselves to understand about life, that you have to be optimistic or straightforward with your energy and also to love yourself. Not saying any other zodiac don't do that, but I'm just saying I'm fascinated that the fact that Sagittarians have that sense of optimism with themselves. All right? So, recapping, Sagittarius, 9th sign, 9th house, ruled by the planet Jupiter, also governed by long journeys, long travels. It deals with travel, it deals with education, it deals with university and colleges, it deals with your true purpose, it deals with religion, it deals with philosophy. Okay? Now we're going to jump into the 10th house. So we jumped into the 7th house, which came by the vows and the promises. Now we came into the 8th house, which jumped in as far as the objection or the contradiction of saying no. That's not what I wanted. Now I know what I want. Now we're going into the 9th house and saying, well, I knew what I want, and we went forward with what we wanted to do. But now I'm telling myself, what more is there that I should be doing, or what is there that I should be going to level up for the next step? All right? That comes in with this 9th house, okay, with that question. So now we're going to jump into the 10th house, right? And now we're going to ask ourselves, from the 9th house, why doesn't everybody see things the same way I do? And now we're going to jump into the 10th house, explaining what is useful to me, okay? You guys want to pay attention to that 10th house, because you guys got any 10th house placements, you're supposed to be a celebrity. You're supposed to be on TV, you're supposed to be podcasting, you're supposed to be doing something on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you're supposed to do. If you got any 10th house placements, most definitely you're supposed to be doing something on the internet or the TV. Facts. And if your son in your 10th house, hell yeah, you really supposed to be like a celebrity or something. You're supposed to be some type of public figure when you got 10th house placements. Or if you're a Capricorn, because, you know, Capricorns are very trendy people. Most definitely, I think so. A lot of people look at Capricorns as kind of awkward, kind of real, rigid a little bit, because, you know, Capricorns could be a little mean on the mean side sometimes. They don't fuck with you. They could kind of be real introspective, really trying to get to know things about people, you know, real, concerned in a way, you know, and guys and people and women take it kind of the wrong way. I know there's a lot of people got things to say about Capricorns, but if you ask me, they're not bad. They're pretty cool people. Most definitely, if you want to know about business or how business is supposed to really run, most definitely you got to, you know, link in with a Capricorn for sure. So, you're going to take this off to the 9th house. Hope you guys wrote that down, because I be talking like a motherfucker. So, we're going now to the 10th house. Now, how we gonna rate that down? It's governed by the 10th sign of Capricorn. All right, 10th sign of Capricorn. I guess I can put that up a little higher so I can put the extended information up there for y'all. In 1 second, y'all. Capricorn, all right? Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Woo! This shit right here, nigga. This shit right here. Saturn itself, I had to put 3 lines down there, motherfucker, because it's something about Saturn that y'all need to know. And if you don't know about Saturn right now, I'll tell you a little history about it. Let me finish this up. All right? So, Saturn governs the 10th house. And what is ruled by the 10th house, mainly public image. Right. Public image, y'all. Yeah. Most definitely. Like I said, if you got in the 10th house placements, if you're a Capricorn, well, definitely you're supposed to be on TV, the internet, podcasting. You're supposed to be doing something where you're supposed to be on TV somewhere. You're supposed to be some type of celebrity, some type of famous public figure, because it's something about you that's supposed to be shown. All right? Most definitely, I ain't throwing no shade to any of the Zodiac signs. You know what I'm saying? All you guys are amazing. You know, that's why I'm into this, to really show you guys how special and how talented you guys are as Zodiac signs, as y'all sun signs, because we all know our native birth chart really tells us who we are, and that's what we're trying to get to. All right? So moving on, y'all. Capricorn, the 10th sign, okay? Coming into the 10th house, which is ruled by Saturn, also by Capricorn, okay? Also, which is governed by public image in the 10th house. When we think about the 10th house, we think about social status. When we think about the 10th house, we think about social status. When we think about the 10th house, we think about structure. All right? When we think about the 10th house, we also can look at it as, let's see here. I don't want to leave nothing out, y'all. I do want to put a little star right here. Maybe I spelled it wrong, but it's called mid-heaven. It's called a mid-heaven, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, make sure I put that on there right. Yeah. So it's spelled like mid-heaven. Guess you could say it like that. But that mid-heaven is very important. And I'm gonna get into that after I put a little bit more on this board about what you guys are gonna deal with here. Well, definitely this is gonna deal with some type of authority. Government. Definitely anything with Capricorn deals with something with government or anything like that or stuff like that. When I think about the 10th house, I think about the government. People who don't really give a fuck, you know what I'm saying, about, you know, all that other shit. They're worried about what's useful for the world. You know what I'm saying? They're worried about what's gonna make this world evolutionize into the better days to come. You know what I'm saying? When you think about Capricorn, when you think about the 10th house, you got any placements like that, you guys are gonna be very important people. And I'm not even bullshit. Somehow. So make sure you pay attention to your 10th house placements if you got any of that. If you got any Zodiac in your 10th house, that most definitely is gonna pay attention to how the world perceives you as a person. All right? So, 10th house is ruled by planet Saturn. When you think about the planet Saturn, it's a very strict planet. And that motherfucker don't play. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna tell you why. Saturn was depicted as Father Time or the Reaper of Death back in those times. Those people or the magical or the spiritual being that came for you when your death time was up, or when your time on life was up, and it was time for you to give your life to the Reaper or Father Time, or the Grim Reaper, whatever they call him. That was a great depiction of, or the depiction itself of what Saturn was, because Saturn used to be depicted by a scythe, and it explained a lot about time, and explained a lot about growing seeds and establishment. So when you think about 10th house placements and you think about Capricorn itself, it's dealing with some forms of establishment and sowing seeds. Because when you think about Capricorns, they build their stuff from the ground up, and that's how it's supposed to be as Capricorns. If they don't build their shit from the ground up, most definitely it's not going to go the right way, because they have to see their progress and be right there alongside of it when they're doing it. So when you're dealing with that 10th house placement, most definitely is going to deal with a gradual and slower energy that you're not going to manifest faster than others. But when it gets there, it's going to be there. I promise you. All right? So there's the social status, structure, authority, government, public image. All right? I do want to say this about this midheaven, just a little quick recap on that. That midheaven is going to be in your 10th house. It's going to be on the cusp of your 10th house, always. When you're looking at your natal birth chart, it's going to be on the cusp of your 10th house. That midheaven explains about your careers, or your aspirations. Whatever zodiac sign that 10th house is, or on the cusp of that midheaven, which is going to be abbreviated as MC, your medium correlate, it's going to basically explain what you're supposed to be doing career-wise. And if you're not doing that shit, then that's going to explain why you're not happy or you're not in the right space that you want to be in. So most definitely pay attention to that zodiac sign on the cusp of that 10th house, because that's called your midheaven itself. All right? Moving on. We're going to the 11th house, which... well, let me back up a little bit, because I want to give you guys a little jump when we got into these houses. So we got into the 7th house, got from the vows, but we got from the 6th house today, and went from our critical energy, our critical thinking, asking ourselves, that this person like me, or, am I good enough, or is my work good enough, or am I going to be perfect, am I going to get this, all this critical energy. We got that soothed down in the 7th house when we actually got to find out that this person wanted us, or that we got the job, or that we was the great person that we wanted to be, right? And then we locked into the 8th house when we said, well, no, that's not what I want. Now I know what I really want, and this is what I'm coming in to reject and object and say that this is what I really need to be successful, okay? So boom, we jump now into the 9th house, saying that, okay, I've been doing this that I've been wanting to do. I've been doing this thing that I've been wanting to do for so long. Now I'm asking myself why people don't see things the way that I do. I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. What is my next purpose? What is my next step that I should go about to receive, the happiness and satisfaction that I need? You feel what I'm saying? So now we're jumping in the 10th house that came into the public image. Is that saying that now I know, that I know my purpose. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And what's coming in now is I'm asking myself, like, what is useful to me? What is useful to me? What is useful to me? And what is useful for others? So that we can make sure that things are going in the way it's supposed to go, or going out the way it's supposed to go. So when you jump into the 11th house, it's a very more charitable energy, saying, hold up, don't even worry about the money. Don't worry about the business. Don't worry about that stuff. You have to have that true belief and that true faith that money is going to come back to you, or that blessing or that fortunality is going to come back to you regardless. And that's when we jump into that 11th house. All right? Another quick recap about Saturn, because of the 10th house. Saturn is a strict planet. Make sure y'all pay attention to y'all Saturn placements. Whatever y'all Saturn and Zodiac is, it's going to deal with your vulnerability as far as your health ancestrally. For example, your Saturn's in Pisces is going to deal with either something with the blood pressure or the feet or the hands or the eyes, anything like that. So make sure you guys pay attention to those zodiac signs and what body parts they represent, because when you look into your Saturn placement, most definitely it's going to tell you a little bit more about that. All right? So moving on into the 11th house, which is occupied by the zodiac sign Aquarius. And the ruler planet of Aquarius is Uranus. All right? When you think about Uranus, it's a very eccentric energy. When you think about Aquarius themselves, they're very eccentric people. These guys are very smart people, very intelligent, love to research, love to discover, just like Sagittarius. Sagittarius is themselves in the 9th house. deals with all types of discoveries and archaeology and stuff like that. When you get into the 11th house and discoveries and research and stuff like that, you dive in a little deeper as far as the scientific research, more about astrology, more about the stars, more about constellations, more about things within the universe that come into spirit, right? Or spirituality being expressed free, their own way. Got very eccentric people. I tell a lot of Aquarians, don't say too much, because a lot of shit that Aquarians might say, people don't agree with, because Aquarians are very original, very inventive people, got their own mind. I love that. It makes them very rebellious people and good friends as well, even though they got their own form of detachment of getting away from people. Even though it's their own speed, I do tell a lot of Aquarians that you can't be all the way isolated, because no person's an island. Remember that, all right? So, what is ruled by the 11th house, or what is governed by the 11th house? The planet ruled by the 11th house is Uranus, but what is governed by the 11th house? What's governed by the 11th house is friendship and charitable service. But instead of friendships, y'all, not really gonna put friendships, because we know that, anybody can have friendships. When you think about the 11th house itself, it deals with social groups. So when we think about Aquarius, when we think about the 11th house, it mirrors a lot about social groups as far as the groups that we belong to. So that means, as well as, the Christians, the Muslims, those are the social groups. Even those are religious groups, those are the groups that we belong to. You got the jocks, you got the nerds, you got the mean girls, you got the nerdy girls, you got the lame-os, you got the, the getting money niggas. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got as far as your social group and your environment and your world and the area around you, that kind of mirrors a lot of stuff with the 11th house. Okay? So when you guys got 11th house placements, most definitely you guys are going to deal with some type of issue with friends or social groups or the places where you belong in. Most definitely, you guys want to pay attention to that. So, like I said, the zodiac sign that it occupies in the 11th house is Aquarius. The ruling planet is Uranus, which is a very eccentric and rebellious energy, a very disruptive energy that comes in very drastically, comes in very quick, very on its own. All right? What's governed by the 11th house is charitable service. So I say charity and social groups. Big on the social groups. Big on the social groups, y'all. Big on the social groups. Most definitely, mainly what that 11th house is going to deal with social groups. I tell a lot of people with those 11th house placements, it deals with the groups you belong to. If you got any placements, the inner planets most definitely is going to deal with a very closer and, stronger energy within that. I think Aquarians people are very, most definitely great influential people. So most definitely Aquariuses themselves are also going to be on social media and, TV and podcasting and stuff like that, because these guys are also trendy and influential people as well, because they're so original and inventive. Not saying that other zodiac signs aren't original and inventive, but most definitely the zodiac sign of Aquarius represents the original and inventive selves of themselves, or the inventive or an original zodiac itself. Now, Aquarians also are very glamorous itself. They love to shine, they love to look good, they love to take pictures, they love people taking pictures of them, they love people telling them that they look good. You know what I'm saying? And it comes in with that glamorous energy of the social groups, when you think about the popular crew and you think about the lame crew. So, you got two different perspectives of that, and you got a lot of people blending and mixing in different areas. When you think about that 11th house and when you think about Aquarius. I want to put a little bit up there. We did put social groups and we did put friendships. I want to put social groups again, because that's something else that, also going to explain a lot more, with it. Even though I put social groups as the main thing it rules, that social groups is very important. Mainly the 11th house is going to deal with those social groups. Deal with service, acts of service. Deal with gifts. All right? Or talents. Hey. objectives. Oh yeah, objectives. Let y'all write that down. So we're gonna get that out the way. Social life. Social group, social life, same thing, but you know, I'm gonna put that and separate it. That's two different things. Said y'all, zodiac sign that is occupied by the 11th house is the zodiac sign or the 11th sign Aquarius. It's ruled by the planet Uranus. The 11th house is governed by charity and social groups. Within that 11th house, you're going to get a lot of things that deals with friendships, a lot of stuff that deals with social groups, a lot of stuff that deals with acts of service, a lot of stuff that deals with gifts and talents. A lot of stuff that deals with the objectives that you have in life or the aspirations, as well as your social life, period. When you think about the 11th house, you think about the jocks, you think about your popular crew, you think about the nerds, you think about the mean girls, you think about the pretty girls, you think about, the computer geeks, different people in these social groups. And that's what you want to think about, a variety of people where you can mingle in and find your own, tribe or find your own group of social interaction. Most definitely, it comes a lot in with the 11th house. And when you look into your zodiac, most definitely it's going to deal with how your group of people or those social group people accepts you. Okay? We're down to the last one, y'all. Hopefully we can do this in 3 minutes. Let's see how we can do this. Hope y'all can get y'all time to write that down right quick. Right, y'all. Okay. Last but not least, we're going into the 12th sign. 12th house. Last but not least, y'all, we almost there. So now we're going in to the 12th sign of Pisces. Right? Which is ruled by Neptune, a very watery planet, a very soft planet. Pisces are very soft individuals, but not soft because they're scared, because they're not no scared people. They're sensitive as intuitive, as they got special abilities. That these people can absorb all the energies of the zodiac in one room. And they can feel shit that people can't feel. So don't think of it as a sensitive thing like you weaker than anybody else, because you're not. Right? So their ruling planet for the 12th house is Neptune. The zodiac sign that occupies it is Pisces. And basically, the main thing that I want to put down here for the 12th house, or what governs the 12th house, is seclusion or escapism. Well, definitely I'm going to put private life, because the 12th house in Pisces itself deals with some type of private life where you don't want to let too many people in because you got your own way of doing things. You think people be cramping your style, but it's too much emotion that comes with it. All right? So, Right, y'all. So, like I said, Zodiac sign is occupied by Pisces. Neptune is the ruling planet. And the 12th house itself deals with private life. Why does it deal with private life? Because it deals with certain sacrifices that we make at the end of our days and our lives. When you think about the 12th house, you think about the last part on the wheel where you old and you just sitting in your rocking chair on your front porch and watching your grandkids run off and play and have they fun, and you secluded reading your books and just chilling. When you think about that 12th house energy, most definitely gets to the end of your life where you're saying to yourself, well, I don't want to work anymore. I want to retire. I want to sit back. I want to chill. I want to make these sacrifices for myself. So definitely anything in the 12th house is going to deal with sacrifices. Sacrifices, also escapism. Let me say escape. Escape routes. Let's put that on there, because when you deal with Pisces do make a lot of escape routes to try to avoid things. Not gonna lie, they're real sensitive people, they're real intuitive people. So, when they feel things or they say things, 9 times out of 10, they don't be wrong. But a lot of times, Pisces kind of got to learn to not drown in their emotions and be able to take things for what they is, and also refer the right things and rely the right things to the people and tell them in the right manner so they respect you. For real. All right? So we're also going to get into, that private life within the 12th house, because it deals with, what we do when we're alone. Alone time. Or how we handle alone time. We handle alone time. All right? When you think about this also, the 12th house is ruled by institutions. Yeah. That's one of the main things that the 12th house and Pisces are going to govern, institutions. So a lot of Pisces I know, been in the street, they're real old souls, got great wisdom on them. These guys, when you see a Pisces in the streets, most definitely these guys are where people are all around them, because they're kind of like, like they say in the Bible, the fishers of men. The guys who come and grab the right people and bring them to them under their wing, and they come and are very militant people to walk out in these streets and give the right healing to the world and to this community and these communities that we have, around us. So these guys are very inspirational and wise people, but these guys got to learn to not be so easy going on these friends, and also listen to what their friends tell them, because these guys are very nice people, very helpful people, very charitable people, love to help out. But a lot of times, a lot of people can take advantage of them as Pisces. So make sure you guys as Pisces pay attention to that. Make sure you gain your own power, your own trust, and your own love within your friendships and your relationships. Also controlling your emotions and not to drown in them. So within Pisces, the zodiac sign is occupied within the 11th house. Pisces is the planet that is ruled by is Neptune, a very soft planet, very intuitive planet. Most definitely I want to put this here before I let you guys go. I want to put behind the scenes. Now here in the 12th house, well, definitely it's a lot of behind the scenes work that could go on. So you could be getting a lot of love. You could get love affairs in your 12th house placements. You could get issues where you guys are coming up into things where you guys want to change careers and say, I want to do this, and people don't think it's realistic enough. So, a lot of that stuff deals with you having a new form of vision, to go about in the world. When you think about the 12th house, when you think about Pisces. I put behind the scenes because Pisces are very behind the scenes people. They love to do work, very photogenic people, very great people with art, great people with dance. People love to do things behind the scenes and choreograph and construct and do things and direct different ways on their own to where they don't have to get all the credit. They fine with that as long as they get the certain credit that they want. You feel me? So make sure you guys write this down, and we're gonna get out of here. I do want to let you guys know that you guys want to check out my Patreon, MDRN. school. Make sure you guys put that in at Patreon, at my patreon.com/MDRN school. And then you guys also want to put MDRN school. It's going to pop up on YouTube as Modern Shaman School. You guys can look that up if you guys want to check this video out or any other videos out about astrology, the numbers. We go into a lot of things as well as meditation, yoga, different forms of spirituality, all types of transcendental enlightenment, and any types of transcendence that you guys are interested in. We're all into a lot of those things. We're also into a lot of spiritual traditions. Also give a lot of information about the chakras, different genres, different topics, different polls and questions. You guys want to make sure you tune in and subscribe to that Patreon. Well, definitely you guys want to look me up on Instagram. It's Kenny Khan. It's KENY KHAN. You guys want you guys to write that down while I'm saying that. I do want to say I appreciate all you guys, all my supporters, all the people who've been with me on this long journey. Do want to thank y'all for being a part of this. Do want to appreciate y'all for being here and also taking up space and letting me take up space. Most definitely. I appreciate y'all. Most definitely. Much love.